The opening morning of Rally Monte Carlo, the first event of the new 2014 World Rally Championship, and already the infamous Alpine passes have claimed a high-profile victim. Thierry Neuville on his first outing in the new Hyundai i20 off the road on the very first stage. The surprise early leader in the hills above Gap was Robert Kubica, the former F1 star, stunning the field on his first outing in Monte Carlo on his first competitive drive in the Ford Fiesta. The pole built up a lead of more than half a minute over the first two stages. The icy, unpredictable road surface was causing havoc. Mads Osberg was very lucky to survive this wild moment on stage one. The Norwegian moving to Citroën for 2014 and running in 6th after the morning loop. New world champion Sébastien Ogier arrived in the opening round in confident mood, and buoyed by the event's shift to a base in his hometown of Gap. An early scare in stage one prompted caution. An unexpected snow covering late in stage three saw the Volkswagen man slip further down the leaderboard. But there were some who benefited. Chris Meek, starting his first full WRC season behind the wheel of a Citroën DS3, one of 4 drivers to opt for a cross-pattern mixture of snow and slick tyres in stage 3, the British star passing the ailing Ogier to take second place. While French privateer Brian Bouffier opted for the same tactic, it would prove a masterstroke. Incredibly, the Fiesta driver stormed past Kubica to take over the top spot after a hectic morning session. Bouffier lies 13.6 seconds ahead of Meek in a leaderboard few could have predicted. And better news for the new Hyundai team, Danny Sordo, currently in 3rd. Day one of the Monte Carlo Rally, and this is Mads Osberg having one of a number of moments in the early changeable conditions at this year's season opener. Grip levels as unpredictable as ever in this iconic old event. The Norwegian youngster improving in the afternoon, though, is currently 5th. There has been a devastating turn of events, though, for the new Hyundai team. Immediately after setting the second fastest time in stage 4 to consolidate 3rd spot, Danny Sordo has been grounded by an electrical failure. Plenty of early promise, but both i20s out in their opening day. Tyres have again been the major talking point in the afternoon, with snow and ice being replaced by freezing rain. Most crews have opted for a safety first choice of a mixture of winter and slick tyres. Former leader Robert Kubica is still very much in the mix. The RKM Sport driver ending the day in 3rd place. Chris Meek is taking on the Monte for the first time in a World Rally car, and having forced his way into a podium position, has been wise enough to opt for caution, having little experience driving in such wet conditions on winter tyres. A strong finish to the day sees the Brit move up to the runner-up spot after passing Kubica. But it's Ford privateer Brian Bouffier who still leads at the end of day one. The local star has proven pedigree on these treacherous roads, having won the Monte Carlo in a non-WRC round 3 years ago. The Frenchman well ahead of the rest of the field. Bouffier's advantage stands at almost 39 seconds heading into the first overnight break, with Meek just 7 tenths ahead of Robert Kubica, the Pole in a remarkable 3rd on his Monte Carlo debut.
Day 2 of Rally Monte Carlo, and more wet weather and more drama for Sébastien Ogier on stage 8 as he drives straight into a field right after the flying finish. But his times are still good and he moves up into 2nd place. Mads Osberg does exactly the same thing at the end of stage 8 as well. He remains 5th overall. There's a cautious start for former Formula 1 star Robert Kubica. He's 4th on the opening stage and drops to 4th place overall. Chris Meek is out to impress, but caution is the word. He's slower than Ogier and drops from 2nd place to 3rd overall. Frenchman Brian Bouffier is the surprise rally leader. He heads into day 2 a hunted man. He's slower than Ogier in stage 7, but faster in stage 8. He holds on to his lead, but the hunt is still on. Bouffier leads by 35.8 seconds. Sébastien Ogier is now in 2nd place, with Chris Meek and Robert Kubica in 3rd and 4th.
The second day of the Monte Carlo Rally, and it's all over. for Robert Kubica. The former F1 star had been setting a stunning pace on his debut at this terrifying event, but one misjudgment of the grip levels on the wet tarmac was all it took. Off the road and out of the rally. There was also a frustrating puncture for Jari-Matti Latvala in the same stage. The Finn and co-driver Mika Antila out to change the wheel, allowing Elfyn Evans to overtake the driver they just worked hard to pass on the leaderboard. With Latvala soon back on his way, it was his turn to be the hunter. The young Welshman eventually conceding in this game of cat and mouse.
Three right sharp, long over crest.
Andreas Mikkelsen was up to 6th following his teammate Latvala's delay, but the Norwegian suffered his own drama soon after. Only the quick work of nearby spectators getting the VW man back on the road here. But it was up at the front where the action was really intensifying. Rally leader Brian Bouffier was clinging grimly on to his half-a-minute advantage, but with world champion Sébastien Ogier chasing him down, eventually the pressure told. A small mistake in the hectic stage 9 was all it took. The Volkswagen man wasn't going to let this opportunity slip him by. With a time almost 23 seconds quicker than the rest of the field, Ogier stormed into the lead. The local star was living life on the edge at times, but after starting the day in 4th over 47 seconds off the lead, it had been an incredible drive. Ogier's lead over Bouffier, 51.1 seconds by the end of the second leg, and Meek is more secure in 3rd following Kubica's retirement.
The final day of the 2014 Rally Monte Carlo, and despite no sign of a break in the weather, the French fans have turned out to see Sébastien Ogier on his way to a first Monte win. Having amassed a lead of over 50 seconds overnight, Ogier continues to top the timesheets, winning stage 13 as he edges ever closer to the finish line. The world champion relentless in his pursuit of stage wins. Another Frenchman, Brian Bouffier, is in a comfortable 2nd place. After leading the rally early on, the privateer is driving carefully and managing the slippery conditions. The British driver Chris Meek occupies the final podium position. He seems to be enjoying every challenge the Monte throws his way, but will be keen to secure a top 3 finish and the valuable World Championship points in his first full season in the World Rally Championship. Mikko Hirvonen took advantage of Elfyn Evans' decision not to push too hard here on the final day. The Brit happy to settle for 7th place, and the priceless experience that finishing the rally here would bring. Hirvonen taking 6th place at the end of stage 13. So with just 2 stages still to run, it's Ogier who leads the way, over a minute ahead of Bouffier. Chris Meek a further 48 seconds back in 3rd. A very impressive outing for youngster Elfyn Evans in 7th place in his first full season in the sport.